but we don't usually say it.
Well, that was the first swear word.
Well, it's like
morning.
WTF. We don't actually say it out. It can stand for a lot of different things.
Yes, it could.
So, Jen, we are going to talk about BS. We've heard a lot so far, not necessarily BS, but a lot of things. But, you know, programmatic is one of those areas where, you know, separating myth from reality sometimes is a little bit difficult, you know, at least for some of us. So I want to go down basically a list of sort of statements, and you tell me whether or not they're BS and why. Does that sound good?
Sure. Do I have more than 140 characters?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
All right.
Please. We got 14 minutes, so I hope so. Programmatic is all about efficiency, and so it ends up saving brands and agencies gobs of money.
F and BS.
Okay, F and BS. Why is that? There was murmurs. You've offended people.
No offense. We need to make Programmatic 2.0 because the way that Programmatic stands right now, as automated as it is, there's so much fraud involved. And we are a smaller agency, more nimble agency. I was just talking to a couple of colleagues this morning. Our team spends so much time trying to fix the errors and fraud with Programmatic because it's so automated that we as an agency are losing money. We do not make margin off of Programmatic buys. Larger holding companies may make margin off the programmatic buys plus fees, but we are not making any margin off it. So when we go into our clients and sell in our fees, they think that, all right, well, programmatic, we don't have to have so many FTEs because it's going to be so much more simplified. But it's not. It's ridiculous.
Is that because you're playing like sort of a game of whack-a-mole as far as finding the fraud and then more fraud?
Yeah, so the whack-a-mole happens on a daily basis. Our team is fully engrossed in the campaigns, looking at verification. I've learned many more porn sites, too, just so you know, if you want to have any insights into more porn. I know a lot of them.
Not going to respond.
So what happens is our team then goes to the technology provider, the programmatic partner, and says, hey, verification, look what's happening. 25% of our ads are being served to Africa. Our product's not sold over there. We're running across these questionable sites. The technology partner comes back. Well, our reporting is not showing that, so show us what you're pulling, and back and forth and back and forth. We're not getting paid for that, and we're trying to do what's best for our client.
Okay. We're going to come back to this area, the fraud one, not necessarily the porn one. The next one is, you know, programmatic it's basically all automated. It's all about automation. True, false, BS?
I don't even have an answer because I would say in this room, we don't even fully, I think somebody asked, or I know somebody asked this morning, what defines programmatic? None of us have a pure understanding of what programmatic means. And so the salespeople are selling in programmatic differently to agencies. Clients have a different understanding. So really, myth and reality, it's so ambiguous that I can't even answer.
Well, it can be anything, right? I mean, like we heard yesterday, I don't remember exactly, a person said that, you know, 100%, I guess Digiday, so it was like 100% of their buys are programmatic in some form or fashion, which,
Right, so I would say from a media planning and buying, everything is automated to a certain extent. There's a human element still involved, but we are processing things, it's not like we're hand delivering. So again, what's the pure definition? I would say.
What's yours?
BS.
Okay, I think that's in our Digiday dictionary. All right, moving along. The next one is, you know, programmatic has the same or similar fraud levels as direct buys.
I would say that's BS.
Okay.
I'll give a pure example. So we're running programmatic. We need to. Programmatic buy with technology partner. And then we're also running across eBay. And it's so interesting. My team was running verification reports, and they said, Jen, do you find it suspicious that eBay has 0% errors or fraud? I said, yeah, isn't that a shame that we find that suspicious from a pure play partner? So I would say that the pure play partners have more control over their inventory than programmatic.
What's a sort of particularly egregious example that springs to mind?
There are so many.
All right, two.
I would say the example of inventory being served outside of the U.S. when it's clear in terms and supposed to be automated, and we'll put this check mark within the system, and that's where our ads are going to be served, and we're seeing a high percentage of inventory being served outside the country. And then we're told as an agency, well, industry norms is 10%. But why? Why? So now we're having to pay additional CPMs and costs to verification partners and fraud prevention partners. So other people are making money as we're trying to be accurate and ethical for our clients. What
was sort of your reaction when I think there was some talk about a few providers coming out with, 100% fraud-free sort of guarantee, which sounded kind of, funny that, you would sort of say, hey, we're not going to rip you off.
Right. I'm sure they're taking nice vacations, too. Everybody's making money. I would say that's great. Why don't we as an industry, and I've gone on record to say this, too, why don't we as an industry eliminate fraud overall? There's always going to be hackers. There's always going to be non-human traffic. But how are you going to prove to me that it's 100% non-fraudulent until I see the system? It's smoke and mirrors. It's marketing.
Let me ask you, what is your what do you consider fraudulent versus just, sort of waste? I mean, do you consider like unviewable impressions fraud or?
No, I don't consider unviewable impressions fraud because, again, that's technology that's trying to figure out viewability, or it's cookie related. So again, as we talk about cookies, that has an impact. I would say non-human traffic is absolutely fraud. I would say being guaranteed placements and inventory and having a third party sell off our inventory to somebody else because they couldn't fulfill on the guarantees, I consider that fraud. Fraud is something that is illegal and not within contract.
Okay. The next one is, we hear this a lot, is that, programmatic is bringing transparency to a system that...
We moved away from the BS versus reality. Go ahead.
No, we're not. We're still on
okay.
That programmatic is transparent. It's a lot more transparent than things used to be.
That's total BS. It's total BS. And one of the post-its that I put on the board yesterday, salespeople don't fully understand what they're selling. And so I love it when salespeople come in to sell premium programmatic inventory. Premium. Well, I would hope it's premium because that's, as an agency, that's all that we really want to buy for our clients. But then we go to the verification, we find all this fraud and porn. It must be premium porn that we were buying then.
It's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible. HD.
Totally.
It always ends up back at porn, I guess.
Yeah.
The next one, which is sort of related maybe, is obviously programmatic started with RTB, and it started with direct response, and we were always told direct response goes first, but that really it's now about branding as much as it is about direct response. BS, or is that a reality?
Well, when we're talking about audience buying, we need to take into consideration the consumer journey, not the funnel. I hate the word the funnel because we are not a linear human being. There are different elements that we take into consideration. So programmatic has to be the right audience at the right time, at the right opportunity to send a message. So with a programmatic buy, you could have a branding component of the campaign and a DR component. And depending on the audience activity, that's where you can serve up the appropriate message. So it has to be a hybrid.
Yeah. But I mean, what needs to happen for it to become a reality that programmatic is as much about branding as it is about DR? Or does it matter?
Well, the back-end analytics, but a key component in this is also the creative. And within programmatic, we really haven't talked about creative whatsoever. And technology, whatever.
We've talked some. I think we're going to hear a lot more about it later.
As we should, because that is a huge component in terms of programmatic success, too. But creative agencies don't know how to respond to programmatic.
Well, they don't understand it, right?
Do we understand it?
This is depressing.
But we're making money off of it.
So it's fine. So let's actually go into the sort of Twitter-sized responses. I didn't prepare you for these, right?
No, okay.
Okay. You ready? They're easy. Retargeting.
A response to retargeting, it can be effective.
Can be?
Yeah.
Can be effective. Okay, that was Compared to the other answers, it was ringing endorsement. In-house programmatic.
It's going to be short-lived.
Why?
Well, how about you verify in-house programmatic at an agency or at a brand?
At brand, sorry.
Yes. Brands are going to realize how much flippin' work it takes to execute programmatic buys. And they're going to be like, yeah. But then they're also going to realize how large agencies have made a lot of money off of it, too. And procurement's going to step in.
Okay. The Lumascape.
People making money.
People making money. Atlas.
Good luck.
Good luck. What do you mean by that?
Atlas has gone through so many iterations as a company, and Facebook is banking their success right now. I love yesterday's announcement with Facebook trying to, and this is longer than 140, but it would fit into my Facebook status. Facebook is saying that they're going to be able to help people do Facebook at work, so it doesn't look like you're slacking.
Okay. It's a wonderful world we live in.
Yeah.
The last one is trading desks.
Don't comment.
What does that mean, no comment?
I think, again, trading desks have created, so it goes from trading desk to programmatic, it's all automation, and everybody's trying to make the greatest margin, but forgetting about the quality of the experience for the consumer. And the quality of the experience is what's going to drive sales for our clients.
Mm-hmm. So you think most of, obviously big agencies set up trading desks and their financial results show that it's been very lucrative for them. I mean, has it mostly been about trying to recapture margin that was sort of being evaporated by clients by crunching down fees?
I'll pull a Bill Cosby and not say anything.
Okay, nods her head yes. I want to open it up to questions.
Any questions in the audience? You know what? I have one. We talk about fraud and all of these issues all the time, and yet nothing ever really seems to change. I mean, why is that? And what is it?
I know, because everybody's making money off of it.
So, what would it take to get the incentives aligned so that the industry can make a serious change along these lines?
I would say, so a couple of things. I found it quite interesting. Again, I was sharing the story this morning. My team is negotiating a media buy, and it's a niche target. And client is willing to pay a higher CPM for it because they want to minimize the waste. The vendors are coming back and saying, well, you know what? We can give you cheaper inventory, but you're not going to reach your total target. Well, cheaper inventory is going to probably be more fraud. So I would say the incentive is for brands to accept a higher cost of entry for minimal fraud or no fraud. So I would say it's education for the brands versus other companies making a greater margin off of the brand's expense.
Interesting. More brand money. That would be nice.
Right, because porn magazines are already making enough money.
Any questions from the audience? Over here? Yeah.
So what is working for you in programmatic?
The question is, what is working for you in programmatic?
You next.
I don't know. More efficient buys in terms of a CPM when we're selling it into the client. But after the campaign, if I were to pull reports and show the time spent from my team versus what was actually delivered for the client from a programmatic partner, I can't say that it's going to be in excess of its success. I have to say, what's interesting, talking to a person that's not totally in our industry, they're saying, what is going on with all this programmatic stuff? I'm not in your industry, so I don't understand it. But from what I've read and seen, what seems to make sense is like a vending machine. You know what you want that Kit Kat. You put in your money, you type in A7 because that's what you're expecting to get, and a granola bar comes out. That's kind of what programmatic is, what we've seen. We know what we want, but we're getting the granola bar instead. Or the frickin' Kit Kat stuck in the machine, and then you don't even get it out yet. You already paid your money.
Over here?
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi. Sorry. I was just wondering, have you looked into any solutions that essentially give you a dashboard so you can see exactly what you're getting? I mean, I work for Pixability, and we have a visual dashboard where you could literally log in every day and see placements video by video. You can see what your cost per view is. You can run it yourself. You can have our company run it, but there's no fraud there. I mean, you can see literally every video your ads are placed against. and the cost, and we just take a set fee. Have you looked into something like that? Because there's no fraud there. You shouldn't be getting, frankly, screwed over like you sound like you are.
Yes, we have. We have looked into that, and so you also say the set fee. So now we have to pay an extra layer in non-working media dollars for our clients. So we have to tell our clients, well, there's so much fraud that we have to spend X% more on non-working funds for you to have legitimate inventory. We did work with a partner that allowed us to have access, to have full viewability in terms of what was being delivered. However, that partner, because they couldn't meet our guarantees, without our knowledge, sold our inventory across another exchange, and fraud came up from there.
Okay, we are out of time, Jen,
Shucks.
but that was great. Thank you.